Bashaw is the starting goaltender for Detroit. 40 games so far this year at 3.85 goals against average. And at the other end, the Penguins rookie. He has played in 18 previous games at 3.20 goals against average, Greg Millen. Ready for action at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. The Detroit Red Wings in third place in the division, or the Pittsburgh Penguins in third place in the division, 14 points ahead of Detroit. And now here come the Red Wings, right into the Pittsburgh zone, a shot, and Bolduc shot went off the stick of Mills. Red Wings holding it in, a backhander, wide of the Pittsburgh goal. Red Wings get it in front again, but it's cleared away, and Lee flips it to center ice, and Bergman has it for Detroit. Now Lee getting it for Pittsburgh, firing it down into the Detroit zone. Hustling back is number 19, Bolduc, couldn't get it out. A drive by Dale Talon hit the side of the net. Puck loose in behind the goal. Penguins try and work it in front, but the Red Wings start back, and in possession on right wing is number 19, Bolduc. Now cuts over onto the left side, leaves it for Libet, a backhander wide of the target. In Pittsburgh, in their white jerseys, Greg Malone feeds to Lee, number 10. Lee into the Detroit zone, around Bergman, in on goal, Bashaw, out and hooked it off his stick. Now another chance, and that's blocked in front of the net by the Detroit player, Paul Woods, who stood up and blocked the high shot. Back for Pittsburgh, and in possession is Talon. On right wing, across the line, moves in and fired wide. And Bashaw cleared it away. Now Lonsbury into forecheck. But Errol Thompson for Detroit had it. Stolen back by Lonsbury. Lonsbury and Thompson into the corner. Penguins get it. Here's Kindrachuk, centers to Kehoe. A shot, they score! Lonsbury on a rebound. And Pittsburgh draws first blood after just about a minute and 24 seconds of play.
Well, there's my old left winger. The key here is Kindrachuk. He hangs onto that puck, finds the man in the open. Rick Kehoe gets a quick shot, and of course, rebound comes right to Lonsbury. No problem putting that one home.
Ross Lonsbury on a rebound. And Bashaw, who had made an earlier great play with his goal stick, did not have a chance. The goaltender is supposed to stop the first shot. The defense is supposed to take care of the rebound.
Dan, you've got to get a little help back there. And, you know, the puck came right to Ross Lonsbury. Vachon, he was down, didn't have much of a chance on that. Again, you'll see how Kindrachuk's make that good play. Kehoe gets rid of the puck right away. And, of course, you saw what happened with Lonsbury there. He had the whole open net.
Problem with the twine of the Detroit goal, and the linesman work on that. Pittsburgh Penguins 1, Detroit Red Wings nothing. Lonsbury, the goal, is 18th of the year. Kehoe and Kindrachuk assist at 1:24. Now the puck back into the Pittsburgh zone, and number 6, Colin Campbell, the Pittsburgh defenseman, trying to carry out. Penguins have an early goal. And we're going to have a scrap in here. Salara. And the Pittsburgh player in the scrap is Oris Kindrachuk. And right at the Pittsburgh blue line, Andre Salara, and Kindrachuk gets a sweater up over his shoulders. Salara trying to get that left hand loose. They wrestle to the ice, and in comes Gauthier and Norris, the linesman.
Some fun, eh? Well, I think Saint Laurent there, he just took it upon himself to try and get this Red Wing Hockey Club going, and sometimes a good fight will do that. Oh, Orst, he can handle himself pretty good. I know last year in Philly he got into a lot of scraps. But not much damage done.
Conversation you and I had with Johnny Wilson today, he had nothing but praise for Oris Kindrachuk.
Absolutely.
One of the signs here at the Civic Arena, welcome to Animal House, it says. Kindrachuk and Salara head for the penalty box. With the score, Pittsburgh 1, Detroit nothing. This is NHL 79. Pittsburgh leading 1-0, 13:33 left in the first period as Dale Talon, number 4, starts out for Pittsburgh. Penguins dump it into the Detroit end of the rink. Nedomansky back to get it, fired it around on the boards. Penguins hold it in by Anchin behind the net, trying to work it in front. Does a shot, Bashaw to save, another shot. And that hit the side of the goal as 2 close-in tries by George Ferguson. Puck comes to center, Shepard. Back to his own blue line to Talon, back to Shepard. Shot at the center, and Harper intercepts. He handed it right to Ferguson. George Ferguson, number 11, ex-Toronto Maple Leaf player, dumps it in, and another fight. Shepard at the Detroit blue line. And is that Perry Miller? It is. Shepard and Miller. And Miller with the right hand going, and Shepard battles back and lands a right hand.
I'll tell you. Oh, we've got it going here today. It's like old home week.
Perry Miller, number 3 for the Red Wings, and number 19 for Pittsburgh, the ex-Bruin, Greg Shepard. And they will head to the penalty box. Flashing penalty to Shepard and to Miller. They each get minor and major penalties. Coincidental majors involving the minors, so the teams again don't have to play shorthanded. They join Salaroff and Kindrachuk, who are already in the box after having a fight back in the first 2 minutes of the game. Dale McCourt, number 1 draft choice of the Red Wings a year ago. Number 10. On the face-off, the Penguins get it, and Callan fires a long shot in. Rogie Bashaw handles that. The veteran Harper trying to clear it. Skated off on the play. Penguins doing some tenacious forechecking. Center to Ferguson, back to the point. Here's Bladen's shot in. Diving in front of it to block it. Now the Penguins hold it in by Anchik. Into Ferguson, backhander. Bashaw sprawls and robs George Ferguson, who couldn't get it up over top of the sprawling Red Wing goaltender.
All right, absolutely. You know, again, the Penguins certainly are putting a lot of pressure on the Red Wings, and it's only the good work of Vachon here that's keeping this score at 1. You're going to see Bladen take a shot. It's blocked, and he's going to get a hold of it again. Puts it out. See that turnaround shot here. Ferguson on his backhand really couldn't, as you had indicated, get the puck up.
Puck at center ice, number 9 for Pittsburgh. Chapman on right wing for Ferguson, who clears it into the Detroit zone. Harper back to get it. Out on the right wing boards for Vaslav Nedomansky, number 20. Here's Nedomansky. Dropping it back. The shot kicked out by Millen. Now Harper for Detroit, holding it in. Deflected. Millen makes the save. Dale Callan behind the net. LeBlanc in the corner, number 18. Dropping it back for McCourt. Comes to the point. Hamel's shot is just wide. Now McCourt in front. Dropped it back, but right onto Ferguson's stick. Back comes Pittsburgh. Lead pass to Chapman is too far. Hamel hustling back and gets to the puck first. And as a result, Pittsburgh is called for icing, and the faceoff will come back in the Pittsburgh zone. Millen, the Penguin goaltender, as we look at Nedomansky going to the Detroit bench with a 7th-round draft choice a year ago. Came to the Pittsburgh camp, suffered a back injury, didn't tell anybody. They weren't that impressed with his play, so he went back and played as an overage junior. And is back here, and in his first full year as a pro playing in the NHL, that's a big jump for a goaltender. And he's the choice today. Here's Bolduc, a shot from the faceoff, and Milne kicks out his right leg and deflects the shot up over the glass.
You know, we've talked so many times, Dan, how important those faceoffs are, and you're going to see it right now where the faceoff is won cleanly, a good quick shot on net, and what a save by the young fellow there.
Again, on a faceoff, Greg Malone for Pittsburgh against Paul Woods. Woods gets the draw back to Hamel, shooting, and he fired it just wide. Woods to the corner, knocked down by Carlisle. Bolduc can't center, and back comes Malone, trying to clear it out for Rod Schuck for Malone. Here's Malone, number 12, working in on his backhand, lets it go just wide, and Reed Larson, number 28, takes over. Back come the Red Wings. Larson, the pass to Libet was behind him. Anderson for the Penguins, a lead pass to Lee. Too far ahead. Bashaw tips it to the corner. Here's Malone. Tried to kick at the puck. Libet for Detroit now flips it to center. And Anderson for the Penguins is back to get it. Russ Anderson, number 7. Penguins lead 1-0 to Carlisle, trying to clear it up. Held in, now Malone for Pittsburgh. On left wing for Rod Schuck. Schuck shoots one, and glove save by Bashaw. Cleared it behind the goal for Glockner. He tried to feed it out. Knocked down in front of the net. The Penguins trying to get possession. Lee and Libet battle for it in the corner. In comes Malone, and the puck is held there, and we'll have a face-off in the Detroit zone now with 10:41 left in the period, and Pittsburgh leading 1-0. That's Greg Malone, a former high draft choice of the Penguins, heading for the bench.
You know, he's doing an outstanding job for the Penguins as center iceman. You know, you can always tell what kind of years your wingers are having, but by the type of centerman that you have.
Here's Kehoe, a shot from the faceoff. Now Colin Campbell shoots one. Vachon the save. Kehoe got it in front, but Huber gets it for Detroit, and we're going to have a penalty here against the Red Wings.
Okay, you're going to see the save by Vachon here. Kicks a puck in the corner, and Glockner, he takes the man down, and I would have to say that was a pretty good call. It's going to give the Penguins an opportunity to increase their lead.
So Pittsburgh, after the hooking penalty to Laurie Glockner, go on the power play. Penguins already lead in the game 1-0. Carlisle at the point. Over to Peter Lee. Now to Lonsbury on left wing. Back to the other point for Carlisle. Now to Lonsbury. Penguins on the power play. In behind the net. Lee feeds it in front, but broken up. And back comes Salarov for Detroit. Number 16, Andre Salarov. Works in with Dale McCourt, flipped it in behind the net, and Carlisle has it for Pittsburgh. Carlisle feeding it out on left wing for Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk dumps one down. Kehoe racing in after it. Vachon out of the net. Kehoe knocked it down. Got it in front, but McCourt for Detroit was there and clears it down the ice. Millen out of the net, setting it up for the Penguins is Peter Lee, number 10. Turns in his own zone. Over to Carlisle. He spins away from forechecking and comes out of his own zone. On right wing to Kehoe. Dumping it into the Detroit zone. LeBlanc, number 18, back to get it. Skated off on the play and taken out of the play by Schutt. Puck loose in front of the goal. Backhander. Oh, and then Mahovlich hit the side of the net with the rebound. Penguins hold it in. Here's Lee to Kehoe. Kehoe moves in. Centers an open net. Lee shoots and he blasted it wide. Now to the other point, Carlisle. Over to Lee. Detroit short-handed. They center to Mahovlich. Shoots, he scores!
Well, Peter Mahovlich, first game back this afternoon after missing a few with injuries. On a good setup there, and the key with Mahovlich, as soon as it hits his stick, he gets rid of it right away. Let's watch that. He doesn't even stop to get good control of the puck. He just lets it go, hits the middle of the net. And there it is.
There was no further scoring in the period. This is the NHL 79 Game of the Week.
Or at least in the Pittsburgh penalty to Willie Huber. Here comes Peter Lee, number 10 for Pittsburgh. Across the line, trying to work around Bergman. Lee to the corner. Dropping it back now to the point for Malone. Malone over to the other point for Shepard. Into Blayton. Couldn't handle the pass. Blayton drops it back for Malone again. Greg Malone, number 12. Holding on to the puck, being watched by Woods. Passes on the boards for Blayton. Tommy Blayton. Back to Malone. Over to the other point to Shepard. Shepard a drive and a pad save by Vachon. And I am not sure if he ever saw the shot. Here's Malone to Shepard again. Shooting, and he missed by 5 or 6 feet. Blayton at the point. Into Lee. Pittsburgh on the power play. In behind the net, Harper. James in there with Rod Schutt, and they hold it. And the faceoff will be in the Detroit zone. Penguins with excellent puck control.
There was a real battle going in front of that net, too, with Huber knocking bodies around. There's Shepard, who played a lot of good years for Boston, and hopefully the Penguins, they'll get things going here. He's having kind of a slow start. I understand he's playing hurt right now.
Vachon, just moments earlier, made a fine pad save, and I'm not sure he ever saw that shot. He was screened on it.
Well, again, Dan, we talk about the importance of getting that man in front of the net.
Only 32 seconds left in Huber's penalty. Pittsburgh still on the power play, and the Red Wings' Bergman is able to clear it down the ice. Number 4, Dale Tallon, coming to Pittsburgh this season in an off-season transaction with Chicago. Feeds it off to Kehoe. Red Wings hold it in. LeBlanc's shot is blocked. Comes to center ice, and Kehoe has it for Pittsburgh. In across the line for Carlisle. Steps around one man, shoots one. Vachon the save. Penguins after the rebound into center to Kehoe. Kehoe trying to work it in front. Now LeBlanc and Lonsbury bump. Lonsbury coming up with the puck. Huber is back on, and the Red Wings' Harper cleared at the center ice. Carlisle to Dale Talon, back to Carlisle. He fired it off the boards into the Detroit zone, and Harper has it for the Red Wings. Up the middle for number 18, J.P. LeBlanc. He fires it into the Pittsburgh zone. Millen leaving it there, and Talon has it for the Penguins. Working it out on left wing to Lonsbury, to Kehoe at center, off his skate. Now Libet comes back to try and get it. Here's Hamel for Detroit. On right wing for Polonich. Dennis Polonich into LeBlanc. Flipped it in front, but Kindrachuk was back-checking and has it for Pittsburgh. Passing it for Carlisle, back to Kindrachuk. Penguins work it methodically to center ice. Kindrachuk dumps it into the Detroit zone. Reed Larson in control. Out on right wing for Polonich. Now to LeBlanc. Tipped away by the Penguins, but Hamel is there for Detroit. Feeds it down the ice. They rule that Colin Campbell could have played it, so there's no icing. Here is Campbell, number 6. Over on left wing for Bayanchin. Long shot into the Detroit zone. Bashaw cleared it away from Ferguson. Salera for the Red Wings in the corner. Here's Andre Salera. Passed it out on the boards for Greg Carroll. Bladen stepped into him. Now Salera dropping it back to the net, and Hamel takes over for the Red Wings. Into the corner. Puck is loose. Centered in front. Ferguson had a chance. Hamel tried to clear it and tried to cover up on it, and it came loose, and the Red Wings Polonich shot it away. And had Hamel been able to cover up on that puck, I am sure we might have had a penalty shot for Hamel falling on the puck in the crease. Live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, the Detroit Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Why did Car and Driver magazine call the Audi 5000 a functional masterpiece, and yet one of the most sumptuous cars ever to come out of Germany? Why did Road and Track magazine say, for the money, we don't see anything that can touch it? Test drive the Audi 5000 at your Porsche Audi dealer and find out why.
Okay, we're going to see a save here by Vachon, and then he's way out of position, of course, and then the puck just drops down there, and he's trying to get that thing under his legs, and somehow it comes loose. But what a close play there.
And as I say, had Hamel covered up on that puck in the crease, we might have had a penalty shot. From the face-off, it's tipped wide of the Detroit goal. Glockner, the rookie defenseman, gives it to the other rookie defenseman, Huber. Now to Carroll, who got it to center ice, and Ferguson, number 11 for Pittsburgh, to Shepard. Shepard tried to return it to Ferguson. Shepard gets it handed back to him, and he fires it around on the boards into the Detroit zone. Laurie Glockner for Detroit, trying to feed it out of there. Carroll along the boards for the Red Wings, being tied up by Bladen. And the puck is held there, and the faceoff will be in the Red Wing zone as we look at Andre Salera, the former Islander who had a big season with the Red Wings last year.
Well, he certainly can put the puck in the net, and, you know, when he's in the offensive zone, you certainly have to pay attention to him because he has that quick release and good goal-scoring touch.
Salera to face-off against Peter Mahovlich. Red Wings win the draw, and here's Glockner, number 11, behind his own goal. Being hooked at by Mahovlich. Glockner then elbows Mahovlich. Play is called, and Mahovlich is going to get a hooking penalty. And Big Peter can't believe it. He thought that Glockner was going to get an elbowing penalty. With the score, Pittsburgh 2, Detroit nothing. This is NHL 79.
Order. Order in the court.
You want the blue Chevette scooter or the green one?
Mr. Miller, I said order.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to write you order now. The blue Chevette scooter or the green one. $33.91 either way.
Charlie, the charge is disturbing the peace out on Bishop Road. Where did that mob come from?
Your Honor, all I promised was $33.91 for a new 79 Chevette scooter and tickets to my concert at the Coliseum. I sing, you know.
Oh, no.
And see you to USA and a C. Miller Chevrolet.
Again, we're going to see Peter Mahovlich. He's very persistent trying to antagonize the Red Wing player, but, you know, in that case, you might as well just let the guy go because he's in his own end. He's not causing any problems. Just pick up the next man. And those are the type of penalties that, you know, you just have to stay away from.
I think he got nailed on about the third hook.
Yeah, right.
Hooking against Mahovlich. And Detroit who have scored more power play goals than any team in the NHL to this point. Trail in the game 2-0 and have an opportunity here. Bergman, number 4, behind his own goal, feeds to Dale McCourt. Here's McCourt, number 10. Slowly to center ice. Red Wings McCourt trying to make a play, drops it to Bergman. Bergman fired it in behind the net. Colin Campbell and Errol Thompson are there. Now Campbell clearing it on the boards. Comes to the point to Bergman. Bergman shot loose. They score! Nedomansky left wide open at the side of the net, and the Red Wings score quickly and get their 54th power play goal of the season.
Well, Bergman made a great play there by just wristing the puck at the net there, and it came right to Nedomansky, and he puts it in. Right to him. He's got the whole open net. But you know, the Red Wings, they got 3 players here that combined for 24 goals. Here you're going to see it again. Again, Nedomansky doesn't make any mistakes. As soon as it hits its stick, it's on the net.
Vaslav Nedomansky, the former star of the national team of Czechoslovakia, scoring here for Detroit in a power play to put the Red Wings back into the thick of things. They cut the Pittsburgh lead to 2-1. Now Glockner, number 11 for Detroit, in across the line, centered. Nedomansky shoots one, and Millen makes a pass save as again Dick Nedomansky was left wide open to the left of the Pittsburgh goal and got good wood on a slap shot.
And that's always the key, that you know, when you're in the offensive zone, try to work yourself away from a player, even if it means getting deeper out in the slots. And Millen, he certainly made a good save there to keep Pittsburgh at that lead.
Here's Nedomansky again, number 20. Talon ties him up, and Malone cleared it around on the boards for Lee. Peter Lee got it to the line. Errol Thompson held it in. His centering pass hopped over McCourt's stick, and now Schutt tried to clear it out. McCourt holding it in for Nedomansky. Off his skate, and back comes Malone to center ice with a lead pass to Schutt. Huber intercepting there. Shot at the center. Dale Talon for Pittsburgh. Into Lee, but Thompson knocked him off the puck. And Glockner, the rookie for Detroit, over on right wing. Red Wings work it out for Thompson. He drops it back to Glockner again. Number 11, Laurie Glockner. Pass to Errol Thompson. Intercepted by Lee. Here's Peter Lee. Moves to center ice. Passes to Malone. Malone tried to get it back. Thompson tied him up. And now 6'5" rookie Willie Huber shoots the long one into the Pittsburgh zone. Back the Penguins in possession. Work it to center ice, and here is Malone. Bumped on the play by Bergman, and Libet has it for Detroit. Libet got it over onto the boards. The Penguins dump it into the Detroit zone, and the puck goes up over the glass. And the faceoff will be just outside the Detroit blue line.
You know, getting back to that last power play there, McCourt, he has 9, Thompson 6, and Nedomansky 9. 24 power play goals. No wonder those 3 guys are out there.
Will Norris, congratulations to the linesman. Game number 1,000 as an NHL official. You have to be a hardy sort, don't you?
Good legs.
Will Norris is one of the linesmen here today. Here's Bolduc for Detroit, tipping the puck into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle, the former Toronto Maple Leaf player, back to get it. Got it out on right wing for Kehoe. Now to Kindrachuk. To Carlisle at center. Carlisle into the Detroit zone. Stick handling, drops it back to Kehoe. Back to Carlisle. Carlisle centered it off a skate and wide of the Detroit goal. Penguins get it to Kindrachuk. His shot hit Kehoe. And Bergman for the Red Wings feeds it for Paul Woods. He's upended, but got it to center ice. Lonsbury for Pittsburgh. Drills it right back into the Detroit zone. Vashon leaving it for Bergman. Cleared it on right wing. Lonsbury into the corner. He's checked. Now Woods over onto the left wing boards for Libet. And Libet flips it down into the Pittsburgh zone. And Anderson, number 7, back for the Penguins. Cleared it on the boards. It's intercepted by Libet and off of Anderson and up over the glass. And the faceoff will be in the Pittsburgh zone.
You know, you talk about a man that's been around a long time. 5 Stanley Cups. You know, he used to drive us crazy when we played against the Flyers because he's an agitator out there. Clutch and grab, and he's been in so many fights and ends up losing them, but always keeps bouncing back. A real competitor, that Terry Harper.
And, of course, has just recently been recalled from the Red Wings Farm Club at Kansas City in the Central League, where he'd been assigned for some time. Here's a lead pass by Bladen into Shepard into the Detroit zone. Back is Reed Larson clearing it over on the boards. Comes to the point. Bladen shot. It's just wide. And Polonich for Detroit. Cleared it. Shepard knocked it down. Rex Shepard on left wing. Fires it in behind the Red Wing goal. Digging into the corner is Bayanchin. He takes a hit from Greg Carroll, and the Red Wings work it for Jean Hamel, number 5. Into Polonich, away from Shepard. Shoots one, and he fired wide on the short side. Puck comes off its moorings, and play is stopped in the Pittsburgh zone. This is NHL 79, live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
Oh, the things people do to decide between 2 TV shows they want to watch. Well, now you don't have to decide anymore, because with Sony's Betamax video recorder, you can actually watch a show on one channel while you're videotaping a show on another channel. That way, you get to see both of them, so you don't have to worry about dreaming up new ways of deciding.
Okay, first one to the TV set chooses.
This is NHL 79, live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Dan Kelly, Gary Dornhoefer, and Scott Wally. Hope you're enjoying the action. We have 12:23 to play in period 2. Pittsburgh leading Detroit 2-1. Incidentally, that Detroit goal, Netamansky, is 21st of the year from Bergman and Thompson at 4:31, the time here in the second period. Back comes Pittsburgh. Ferguson over on right wing for Shepard, who fell, and Ferguson, number 11, circles back, flips it into the Detroit zone. Polonich in front of his own goal for Larson, cleared out for Carroll, who tips it down into the Pittsburgh zone. And going back is Bladen, number 2. Bladen, former Flyer player on right wing for Ferguson. He passes to Shepard. Shepard in for Bayanchin. Wayne Bayanchin to a bad angle, flipped it right through the goal crease. Now Polonich trying to clear it. Bayanchin to Shepard. In behind the net and around on the boards for Ferguson. Centered it, backhander. Bayanchin shot goes wide. Now Bayanchin centers. Colin Campbell at the point. Going to be a penalty here against Detroit. Bashaw back of the net, and as Larson comes up with the puck, play is called. And I must admit I didn't see the penalty against the Red Wings, but one has been called for charging.
Well, I think that was Hamel. He drove the Penguin player right into the net. And again, it's going to give the... We're going to see it again here, Dan. Watch out in front of the net for the... Here it comes right here. Unfortunately, that doesn't count as a goal for Shepard, but gives the Penguins an opportunity to increase their lead.
Red Wing defenseman Jean Hamel off for charging at 8:31. Pittsburgh leading in the game 2-1, and with an opportunity here, the Penguins have scored 36 power play goals.
Top of their guns there, Peter Lee and Malone. They have 14 between them on a power play. So there's 2 guys to watch for here.
Here is Carlisle moving in for the left point to Lee, who is the other point man on this power play. Flipping it in, now into the corner for Schutt, back to Lee. Lee to Rod Schutt, shoots one, partially fanned on it. Loose at the side of the net. Malone flipped it in front. Woods cleared it away. Now to Lee at the right point. Into Rod Schutt. Schutt dropping it back to Lee. Lee flips it in, deflected. Mahovlich shot and shot it wide. And Bergman for Detroit cleared it away. And Lee, number 10, back to get it for Pittsburgh. A minute 20 left in Hamel's penalty. Lee on right wing for Rod Schutt. Schutt to center. Schutt trying to work the puck in, does for Carlisle. Randy Carlisle dropping it back for Mahovlich. Number 20, Pete Mahovlich to Carlisle. Back to Mahovlich, over to Lee. Here's Lee closing in, a drive, and he only got a piece of it, and it was blocked by Bergman and cleared it down the ice. 51 seconds left in Hamel's penalty. Lee for the Penguins. Lead pass too far for Mahovlich. Harper intercepts and cleared it into the Pittsburgh zone. Now Lee twisting and turning. Back of the net for Dale Talon. Here's Talon for Lee. At center ice for Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk into Kehoe. Shot it wide. Kehoe behind the net. Number 17, Rick Kehoe, trying to make a play. Holding on to the puck. Centers for Mahovlich, tipped away. And Harper tried to clear it. Talon held it in. To Mahovlich, shot wide. Mahovlich on a great setup. Now Libet for Detroit in along the boards, holding it there, and we'll have a face-off in the Red Wing zone with 8 seconds left in the penalty to Hamel.
There we see Peter Lee, and what a year he's having. You know, Pete, not only does he have that great speed, but good shot and good puck sense. And here you see old Urs Kinderchuk. Well, he's not really that old, but a little guy like him gets himself involved in front of the net. And that left Peter Mahovlich in the clear there, had a good scoring opportunity.
Talking about Peter Lee, 26 goals to this point in the season and leads all Pittsburgh goal scorers.
It's not too shabby.
Rogie Vachon, the Detroit goaltender, all ready for a face-off in the Red Wing zone. 7 seconds left in the Detroit penalty. To Hamel. Now along the boards, Woods for Detroit. Pinned there by Kehoe, and back in the corner we have Tommy Bergman pinning a Pittsburgh player against the boards. And I cannot tell you who it is. Can you?
I think that's Kinderchuk again.
Is it? Bergman and Kinderchuk in the corner. And they are separated by linesman Will Norris. They had a couple of major penalties back in the first period.
Well, you know, Dan, I said to Kinderchuk before the game, let's see you do something out there. But I didn't mean sit in the penalty box all day.
With the score, Pittsburgh 2, Detroit 1. This is NHL 79.
It's no picnic out there. Things are tough, and they could get tougher. I'm Tom Murray of Control Data Institute. And this could be just what you've been looking for. It's a booklet on the computer industry and how Control Data Institute could train you to seek a career as a computer programmer, operator, or repairman. Here's how to get your copy.
You can call Control Data Institute right now at 1-800-327-2772.
Minor penalties for roughing to Bergman and Kinderchuk on that last fracas in the corner. Kinderchuk was involved in a scrap back in the first period. Fought Andre Saint-Laurent. So each team going to be a man short. Pittsburgh leading it here 2-1 midway through the second period. Colin Campbell behind the Detroit goal trying to work it in front, and they jam up and hold it there. And we'll have a face-off in the Red Wing end of the rink. We've had some injuries. Perry Miller of Detroit is out of action for the rest of the day with a shoulder injury. And Greg Shepard has taken 3 stitches on the lip in this one already today. But he is still out and available for duty. Here's Nedomansky to Errol Thompson. Speaking of injuries, he's playing with a broken jaw. Colin Campbell and Thompson go to the corner. Now Carlisle for Pittsburgh coming up with it. And carries out of his own zone. Carlisle, lead pass into Ferguson, right in, and the play is offside at the Detroit blue line.
I'll tell you, Ferguson had a good burst of speed there. You know, if you can't hit the man cutting down that wing, why not fire it off the corner? And that'll give a good opportunity to get the puck.
We mentioned Errol Thompson playing with a broken jaw. We asked him about the problems.
Well, I don't think I was that far out of shape because I was skating shortly after it happened. It just maybe my body was a little bit weak because I couldn't have solid foods to eat, and I just mostly lived on liquids and milkshakes.
That's a pretty tough way to get ready to play hockey. Here is Carlisle to the point to Campbell, a shot. Huber blocked it. Now Campbell fired it around to the boards. Into the corner for Ferguson. Ferguson back to Carlisle, and the shot deflects wide. Vachon out of the net, kicking it over on right wing for Larson. Campbell held it in. Larson blocked his shot. Reed Larson, number 28 for Detroit. Out on right wing, and here comes Huber, the big Detroit rookie, to Nedomansky. Nedomansky, number 20. Trying to make a play, drops it back, intercepted by Peter Lee, who has a breakaway. Watch Peter Lee. Scores!
Oh, boy.
Makes the big shot, and then beats Vachon out. A great play by Peter Lee.
Well, again, Dan, you know, the Red Wings had possession in the offensive zone there. And anytime you make that rink-wide pass, you better be 100% sure. Now, what an angle we get here. Look at that move that Lee puts on Vachon. That's why he's got 27 goals. He knows what to do with that puck.
He had a breakaway from the Pittsburgh blue line all the way to the Detroit end of the rink. Here it is again.
Pretty to watch.
And Rogie Vachon lost the shootout with Peter Lee, who walked in alone and gets 27th goal of the year. And as the Penguins clear it down the ice, we have an icing call against Pittsburgh. Nedemansky, I think, was trying to make a rink-wide pass.
Absolutely. On a play like that, you have to be very certain that somebody's backing up that play. Anytime you pass from the right point to the left point, somebody better be back there.
Face-off coming up in the Pittsburgh zone. Comes to Hamel at the left point. His shot off of Millen's pad. Now Dale Talon for Pittsburgh behind his own goal. Talon over on right wing for Bladen. Here's Tom Bladen to Lee. Lee dropping it back for Malone. Malone behind the net in front to Lee, but intercepted, and back come the Red Wings. Salaron, number 16. Salaron shot. Millen makes the save and cleared the rebound to Lee in the corner. Lee behind the net, getting it to Bladen. Tom Bladen fires to center ice. Kindrachuk couldn't handle it, and we're going to have an icing call here against the Pittsburgh Penguins. With the score, Pittsburgh 3, Detroit 1. This is NHL 79.
The Miller people promised me a case of light beer if I could keep this ball spinning for the length of this commercial. Now, I'm not one to show off, but I do just about anything for a few light beers. You see, light's got a third less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling, so I can stay loose. But the thing I like best is the taste. And I believe at this time that somebody here owes me a case of that taste. Thanks a lot, boys. See you around.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Hi, Charlie.
All right, here you're going to see the giveaway by Nedemansky. You notice how he tries to put that puck all the way through, and no chance, and Lee anticipated that very well.
Lee had a breakaway all the way from the Pittsburgh blue line. Plenty of time to think about that. Some players outthink themselves, but Lee did not, and scored a beautiful goal against Vachon. Penguins, Anderson out on right wing for Carlisle. Back to Anderson. Off his stick. Bolduc had it momentarily. Now Pittsburgh getting it to Carlisle. To Mahovlich. Pete Mahovlich leaving it for Randy Carlisle. Lead pass to Mahovlich. Racing into the Detroit zone. Chapman gets to it first, centered it, but the Red Wings are there, and Woods feeds it out for Nick Libet. Libet charges down. Millen out of the net to clear it away. Got it to center ice, and here's Mahovlich for Pittsburgh. Over for Carlisle, broken up by Harper. Now Woods for Detroit, being forechecked by Mahovlich. In Paul Woods with 6.5 minutes left in the period, back behind the Red Wing goal. Woods being watched by Mahovlich. Woods right in front of his own net, gets it to Bergman. Tommy Bergman, a neat move to get away from Blair Chapman. Now on left wing to Libet. Intercepted and cleared away by Carlisle. And Bergman has to go back for Detroit. Bergman being watched by Chapman. Rink-wide pass for Harper. Here's Terry Harper. Comes to center ice, flipping it into the Pittsburgh into the rink. Hustling back is Bladen. Bladen trying to feed it out. Held in by Glockner. Now Chapman for Pittsburgh. Lead pass, but behind Kindrachuk, and Harper is back for the Red Wings. Harper playing it out on the wing for McCourt, number 10. Dale McCourt to Glockner. Glockner feeds it to center ice. Bladen has it there. Bladen over to Kindrachuk. Here's Horace Kindrachuk, and Harper tied up. Kindrachuk clearing it into the Detroit zone. That's Glockner. Around on the boards for Thompson. Errol Thompson trying to feed it out. Does, and here comes Nedemansky. One man back. Nedemansky around Colin Campbell and shot it wide. Campbell may have got a piece of it. Puck is centered by Nedemansky to Glockner. His shot caught by Millen and leaves it to the side of the goal for Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk on right wing for Bladen. Bladen lead pass to Kehoe, but intercepted by Hubert. To Dale McCourt. McCourt now to Hubert. Over on right wing for Nedemansky. Got it to the Pittsburgh line, and the Penguins. Ross Lonsbury fired it off the boards back to center. Cleared the rest of the way down the ice by Kehoe. And it is going to be icing against Pittsburgh. This is NHL 79 live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
It's terrific at Tedrich. This huge dresser, frame mirror, fuller queen-size headboard, and matching 5-drawer chest, only $199.95. A handsome 4-drawer maple finish chest for only $37.95. And this Herculon sofa, love seat and chair with reversible cushions, all 3 pieces only $239.95. Easy credit terms and layaway at Tedrich, 834 Huron Road downtown, 3969 Lee Road, and 7233 Lorraine Avenue. Open 7 days.
There are still some tickets available for the Challenge Cup Series at Madison Square Garden next week. If you're interested, write Madison Square Garden 4 Penn Plaza, New York, New York, 10001. Next Thursday, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday night, the NHL All-Stars and the Soviet Union at Madison Square Garden in New York. Here's Reed Larson's shot from the point, and the save by Greg Millen, the Pittsburgh goaltender. Trying to beat it out of there on the boards was Talon. He's pinned against the boards and will have a face-off. This telecast comes to you through courtesy of NHL 79 and is authorized under television rights granted by the National Hockey League solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Hockey League is prohibited. The announcers on this telecast have been selected and are employed by NHL 79. Penguins clear it down the ice. Reed Larson is back to get it. Feeds it to center. Now Carlisle on left wing. Into the Detroit zone. Shoots from a bad angle and shot wide. Here's Lee at the point. Into Carlisle. Carlisle in front. A shot. Vasha crawling save to stop Carlisle. And the Red Wings come back. McCord on left wing for Thompson. In across the line, and Carlisle, who had been caught up the ice, got back in a hurry to break it up. Here's Lee. The Rod Shutt shooting, and a glove save by Vasha. And Shutt can fire a puck. Here's Malone for the Penguins. Drops it to Dale Talon. He couldn't hold it in, and the Red Wings take over. Nedomansky stick handle, but lost it to Shutt. Back into his own zone to Talon, to Bladen. Bladen lost to Hamel. Here's Jean Hamel into the Pittsburgh zone. Talon skates Hamel off, and Dale Talon cuts behind his own goal. Talon on left wing, gets to center, bumped by Nedomansky. Now the Penguins get the puck momentarily, but Salera takes over for Detroit. Andre Salera into the center ice area. Now it is back to Salera, trying to work around Talon. Salera holding on to that puck. Cleared it behind the net for Polonich. Bladen and Polonich battle for it. Now LeBlanc into the corner for Detroit. LeBlanc loses a stick, loses a glove, and Ferguson clears the puck down the ice for Pittsburgh, and we have an icing call coming up against the Penguins.
You know, Dan, there are 13,682 people here today enjoying this game. It's got to be a frustrating year for Vachon, but on this particular time, he certainly comes up with a big save. Watch him stick that pad out.
Sprawling save by Rogie Vachon. Penguins are leading 3-1. We have 2:58 left in the second period. Salera to face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. Comes to Bladen. Bladen flipping it out on left wing to Mahovlich. Lead pass to Shepard, broken up by LeBlanc. Now here's Bladen. Across the line, shoots one. Vachon makes the save, and Harper comes up with the rebound, feeds it out on right wing. Mahovlich knocked it down. Penguins, Shepard holding it in. Flips it into the corner. Now Bergman shooting it around on the boards to the other wing. And the Red Wings, or at least Greg Carroll, cleared it down the ice. Back after it is Colin Campbell. Campbell behind his own goal for his defense partner Bladen. Bladen up the middle to Shepard. And Shepard tips it to the Detroit line, and the Red Wings have to go back. John Hamel lost it to Ferguson. Ferguson into the corner. Ferguson tries to center, does, but intercepted. Polonich couldn't get it out of there as the Penguins bottle the Red Wings up in their own zone. Harper around on the boards. Terry Harper headbanning it to Greg Carroll, number 25. And Carroll flips it into the Pittsburgh zone. Kehoe back to get it for Mahovlich. Didn't see it coming. Salera for Detroit. Fires it over, but right on to Shepard's stick. Lead pass to Kehoe. Races down, but Vachon out of the net to grab the puck. and then cleared over onto the wing for Huber. Red Wings work at the center ice. Reed Larson upended there. Penguins carry in across the line. Here's Carlisle. Shoots high off the glass. Bullet shot by Carlisle. Back comes Bolduc for Detroit. In across the line. Spun around, knocked down, cleared it in behind the Pittsburgh goal, and Lonsbury has it for the Penguins. Ross Lonsbury for Carlisle. On right wing for Kehoe. Kehoe crosses center, shoots it into the Detroit zone. Vachon leaves it for Woods. A minute left here in the second period. Penguins leading 3-1 as they jam up on the far boards in the Detroit zone.
You know, Dan, I talked to Kinnerchuk between periods there, and he said the ice is very soft tonight, or this afternoon rather, and the puck is bouncing all over the place and not sliding that well. And that's why both teams, you know, as soon as they get over that red line, they're shooting it in and trying to forecheck and get some chances. But it's very difficult to carry that puck.
That was an afternoon game due to a hockey player's system, Gary, when you're accustomed to playing, you know, 75 or 77 games at night. Does it change your routine much?
Well, there's a little adjustment. You have to get up a little earlier in the morning, but some guys really are morning glories, if I could use that term. When the sun is out, they come to play. But I used to love playing in the afternoon games. Then you know, you can relax after the game and have a bite to eat afterwards.
From the face-off, the Red Wings Huber shoots it around on left wing to Libet. Libet feeding it into the center ice area, and here's Paul Woods with a long shot wide of the goal. Lonsbury hustling back. Now Huber for the Red Wings behind the net to Bolduc. He's knocked down, and Lonsbury flips it into the center ice area for Pittsburgh. Reed Larson for the Red Wings. Passes to Woods. Here's Woods. Leaving it at the Detroit line, and the big rookie Huber, number 7, tried to get it back to Woods. Colin Campbell knocked it down. Now Larson for Detroit. Flips it into the Pittsburgh zone. Campbell races back for the Penguins. Colin Campbell, number 6, clearing it off the boards into the center ice area. And Huber shoots it right back in for Detroit. Just 10 seconds left in the period. Here's Campbell for the Penguins. Feeds it out on right wing. Ferguson shot at the center, knocked down by Larson. Long shot wide of the Pittsburgh goal, and there's the buzzer to end the second period here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Rogie Vachon and the Detroit Red Wings, in a must game for them, head for the dressing room, trailing by a 2-goal margin after 40 minutes of hockey. And so the score at the end of the second period: the Pittsburgh Penguins 3, the Detroit Red Wings 1.
Avis Super Saver rates. Special rates that save you money. Like our 7-day See America rate.
Look out, L.A. Bye.
Or our special holiday rates.
We get to go to the grandmother's house.
And on weekends, Avis Super Saver rates can save you up to 50% off our weekday rates.
50% off?
Up to 50%.
See you Monday.
Call our toll-free number or your travel consultant. Some restrictions do apply.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will.
Oh, Brown. What's all this? Compliments of the gentleman at the bar, sir.
That is no gentleman. That's Tom Grant. Tom, I don't believe it.
What's it been, 5 years?
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brown.
Well, somebody's got to say it, you two. Here's to good friends.
All right.
Le Mans, Daytona, Nürburgring. Since 1948, Porsche has won more than 400 major races here and abroad. And what we have learned there, we put into practice here. Porsche 924, Porsche 928, Porsche 911 SC. On the track or on the road. Porsche. Nothing even comes close.
We pause now for station identification.
Now, from General Mail Corporation, here's the Home Jogger, the springboard jogging pad with exclusive mileage computer. Now you can jog rain or shine, day or night. Look at these fabulous features designed to get you back into tip-top shape and robust health starting the very first day. First, the springboard jogging pad. Its special rugged construction actually helps you run, as it gently cushions knees and ankles from hard shocks that can cause real trouble for outdoor runners. Most important, you have an actual mileage computer that tells you exactly how far you've run. It tones muscles in legs and thighs for a smoother, more youthful look. Tightens stomach muscles for a firmer, more attractive figure. The Home Jogger with mileage computer, and just $12.95 on this special TV offer.
To order Home Jogger, please call toll-free 1-800-327-2772, operators on duty now, or save duty charges and mail a check for $12.95 to Box 29,000, Cleveland, Ohio 44129. Allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery.
The Ohio State Buckeyes battle Michigan's Wolverines Thursday night at 8, here on WUAB-TV, Channel 43, Lorain, Cleveland.
Back at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Penguins lead the Red Wings after 2 periods of play, 3-1. In the first period, Ross Lonsberry and Peter Mahovlich giving the Penguins a 2-0 lead. Vaslav Nedomansky gave Detroit its first goal, and it was 2-1. But then Peter Lee on a breakaway goal, his 27th of the year at 11:56 of that second period. And the 2-goal margin, once again, the Penguins over the Red Wings. And with me is Terry Harper, veteran defenseman of the Detroit Red Wings. Now on that league goal, Terry, that breakaway started at his own blue line. Now, how does something like that come about?
Well, there's a couple of mistakes made on every goal, and on that particular goal, Nedomansky was going in wide on the right-hand side, and he looked like he had their players pulled over to that side, and Reed Larson came up late on the left-hand side, and Reed, because we were behind a goal, was gambling that he could get that pass across, and unfortunately, Lee was very sharp. He picked that puck up as it came across. It was a good hard pass, too. It was just, I say there's a couple of mistakes. Maybe Reed shouldn't have come up so fast. When Nedomansky saw the play developing, those guys hedging into the middle there to try and catch that pass, he should have held back on the pass and gone in deeper.
Terry, you've been around the National Hockey League for a long time now, and the Red Wings realizing some experience is needed on defense, but you just came up from a trip to the minor leagues earlier this season. Has your approach to the game changed because of all this?
Oh, very definitely. I learned something when I was there. I got a lot more opportunity to watch and observe the young players without the pressure of winning and well, of course, there's pressure to win there, but the same kind of pressure as you have in the NHL. So I get the chance to observe the kind of things they're doing, the kind of things that they need to improve on if they're going to play in the NHL. And I can see those same mistakes being made on our team here. For instance, like that league goal. We're just not making sure we got that last man on the ice without the puck. You know, I've always played and always believed that the last man should headman the puck forward, not back. And
thank you, Terry.
You got to watch for.
Okay, Terry Harper of the Detroit Red Wings. Coming up, we'll be taking a look at a changing of the guard in Philadelphia earlier this week. With the score, Pittsburgh 3 and Detroit 1. Our intermission continues in just one moment.
Do you know 8 out of 10 indoor plants die from improper care? Now there's an answer. The greenhouse. Everything you need to grow beautiful, healthy houseplants. On the front of the card is a picture of what a healthy plant should look like, and on the back are easy-to-follow guidelines on how to keep your plants beautiful. But that's not all. In the greenhouse, there are 56 bonus cards and 36 know and grow cards that give detailed information on fertilizer, potting, how to make a terrarium, and so forth. The cards will give you hundreds of ideas on how to decorate your home with plants. How can you have the greenhouse? Just say so, and we'll send you the first set of cards. Then every month, we'll send you new sets. Examine them for 14 days, return them or keep them, and pay only $1.89 plus postage and handling. Act now, and we'll send you the greenhouse free, just for examining the first set of cards. It's a $10 value. Keep it, even if you return the cards. So order now. Here's how.
To order Greenhouse Plus free card file, please call toll-free 1-800-648-5314. Operators on duty now.
Back at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, the Penguins lead the Red Wings 3-0 after 2 periods of play. Earlier this week, the Flyers shocked the hockey world by firing coach Bob McCammon, giving him only 50 games to make the Flyers look like the Stanley Cup champions of old. His replacement, Pat Quinn, up from the Maine Mariners Farm Club. And his coaching debut came Thursday night against the New York Islanders. Dan Kelly has highlights of that Islanders-Flyers hockey game.
After only 3 minutes and 9 seconds, the Islanders take the lead. Mike Kazicki moves in on left wing, fakes the shot, and walks in to score and make it 1-0 Islanders. Watch this play again. A 2-on-1 break. Kazicki fakes the shot. Keeps on going, walks around the defenseman LaPointe and the goaltender Stevenson, and slips it in. Second period action. Rick McLeish centers to Dennis Verbigart, and it's tied 1-1. Watch again. McLeish's centering pass, and the ex-Vancouver player, Verbigart, blasts it home for his 13th of the year, and it's tied 1-1. In the third period, the Islanders own the game. Jerry Hart's blast from the point. Blocked at the defense. And there to pump home the rebound is Clark Gillies, his 23rd of the year. Then Mike Bossy, a backhander, makes it 3-1. Bossy's 40th goal of the season. And here's another look at the goal by the talented Islander player. Lorne Henning behind the net. In front to Bossy, and the backhander off the post and in behind Stevenson, and it's 3-1. Moose DuPont tries to clear the puck out of the Flyer zone. Knocked down by the Islanders. Hard-working Lorne Henning comes up with the puck and backhands it home to make it 4-1. Pat Quinn talked to Bobby Taylor after the game.
This is Bobby Taylor. We have the opportunity to talk with the new coach of the Flyers, Pat Quinn. And Pat, last spring, when the Flyers were considering a coaching change, Fred Sherrill leaving, you were one of the candidates, and you did not get the job. You were kind of disappointed. It was pretty well evident. But now, 50 games into the season, you're the new coach of the Flyers. Is it a surprise?
Well, certainly startling. I was disappointed last summer. I think I verbalized that. The opportunity arose on Tuesday. It was startling, and my first emotions were very personal about my family and my hockey team in Maine. But it was an opportunity that I had verbalized, and I wasn't going to pass up. They were going to make a change regardless if I was the replacement or not. And I said, the heck with it, I can do the job there.
Do you have any preconceived ideas on how you're going to handle the team?
Nothing preconceived. I'd like to get here and establish what I feel is the problem. I've had many offers of opinions on the problems of the hockey team here, but it's in my hands now, and hopefully between myself and the players, we can establish some self-confidence and approach the balance of the season with some respect.
The ice now, your control over the players who go on the ice, is that going to be a complete control?
Well, we're still establishing a contract. If they've hired a coach that is not going to have any control, then they'll have to get another one soon.
Pat, I hope that you can change this team around. I know a lot of people in Philadelphia do too, and I want to thank you for taking the time with us.
My pleasure, Bob.
This is Bobby Taylor for NHL 79.
Thanks to Bobby Taylor and Pat Quinn. The Flyers are back out on the ice again on Sunday to play the Atlanta Flames. Pat Quinn still looking for his first win. Coming up, Gary Dornhofer's second period highlights. Let's make sure we've got that score right. Pittsburgh 3 and Detroit 1, and our intermission continues in just a moment.
Imagine, with today's prices, being able to afford a few luxuries like this. Well, thanks to Stuart McGuire, I've been making some pretty good extra money in my spare time. This Stuart McGuire catalog has the most fantastic selection of shoes you've ever seen, and sportswear fashions that are a real knockout. So I really don't have to do any selling. I just let my friends look through the catalog, then take their orders. And their deposit, like it shows here in the catalog, is actually my cash commission. And just look at what you can do with all that extra money.
I found as a Stuart McGuire representative, you not only make money, you save money. Because anything you order for yourself or your family, you get at a big 20% discount. For example, if your husband liked a $20 pair of shoes, you'd pay only $16. A pantsuit like this is a bargain at $30, but I paid only $24. So just think of all the money Stuart McGuire can save you on your shoes and sportswear. And now when every penny counts, this extra money really helps.
Yes, you too can be earning big dollars in your spare time and enjoying tremendous savings on all your shoes and sportswear as a representative of the Stuart McGuire Company, a leader in men's and women's fashions for over 70 years. Just send for this free catalog and complete information. There's no cost or obligation whatsoever. You don't invest a penny of your own. Simply show the catalog to your friends, neighbors, co-workers. There are styles for everyone, even tall and big men. you'll be amazed how easily Stuart McGuire shoes and fashions sell themselves, and how quickly your cash commissions add up. So don't pass up this fabulous opportunity. Send for your free Stuart McGuire catalog now and start earning that extra money. Here's all you do.
To order your free Stuart McGuire catalog with no obligation, call toll-free 1-800-648-5314. That's 1-800-648-5314. Or write to Box 29,000, Cleveland, Ohio, 44129. That's Box 29,000, Cleveland, Ohio, 44129.
We're back here in Pittsburgh between the second and third period. The Penguins lead the Red Wings 3-1. 2 goals in that second period, one by Vaslav Nedomansky of Detroit to make it 2-1 in favor of the Penguins. But then Peter Lee widened the gap once again to 2 goals with a breakaway goal, his 27th of the year at 11:56. And Gary Dornhofer, everybody in the Detroit Red Wings got caught up ice on that one.
Well, on Nedomansky's pass there, you know, that's an unwritten law. You can't make those rink-wide passes unless you're 100% sure. And he got caught on that one. Lee came up with a good play.
Let's take a look at the first goal now. Nedomansky's goal, a power play. Thompson and Bergman the assist.
All right, you're going to see the good forechecking here by Thompson. He's right on top of Campbell there. He takes him out. Now, it's up to that second man to get in there. Nedomansky is a little late getting there, but he does make contact with the puck, and it'll come right back to Thompson again. He'll shovel it back to the point. Now, Bergman, he's looking for Nedomansky in the far corner, and you see Milne, he was coming out there expecting a shot from the point, left the open net. Nedomansky didn't make any mistake.
The Red Wings with the most power play goals in the National Hockey League. Pittsburgh having problems their last 6 games, 12 goals against and 26 times short.
Well, that's where you win a lot of hockey games, in that power play. Well, Nedomansky got one, and here you're going to see him give one back. He'll have good control. The puck hangs onto it, which he's supposed to do. Now, there you just freeze it. Now, he's looking at that other point man. He's got Shepard in between him, and we can't even see the man that he's trying to pass to, but he's on the far corner. Now, you see Lee anticipate the play. Of course, his partner, he doesn't have any chance, and Lee, he goes down from the blue. I've never seen a breakaway from that length. Now, he's going to fake a slap shot. And I think Vachon, he reacts to this, comes out a little bit, and then he just gives him the little shift, and in she goes.
Is there any other way that Rogie could have played that?
Well, that's a tough situation. You know, anytime one-on-one, they say that the goalie would rather have the forward try and beat you, because you have a chance of losing that puck when you're trying to come in there and shift. But Lee didn't make any mistake. He made a good play, and 3-1.
Okay, Gary Dornhofer, thank you. These second period highlights brought to you by your local Porsche Audi dealer. Pittsburgh leads Detroit 3-1 after 2 periods. This portion of NHL 79 has been brought to you by Porsche Audi, the official cars of the NHL network. Nothing even comes close. And by Sony. Leave it to Sony to figure out how you can do 2 things at once. It's a Betamax videotape deck. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
I like competing against men. But only if they don't patronize me. Then if I win, it's really exciting. You know what else I find exciting? Men who wear English leather cologne. I like the way it smells on men, and I like the kind of men who wear it. I find them to be challenging. When it comes to the battle of the sexes, I don't like pushovers. I guess that's why all my men wear English leather, or they wear nothing at all.
My wife got the house, but I got the Sony.
Darn. I thought they were going to give me a Sony.
Most people feel very special about Sony Trinitron Color TVs, probably because Sony Trinitron Color TVs are very special. You see, it's not just a TV, it's a Sony.
I hope he's not disappointed. I think he was expecting a Sony.
For days, you fought the mountain for a 90-ton slab of granite. And now you hold your breath while you bring it out until it swings free and clear. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
When it's time
time to relax, time to relax. One beer stands clear, Miller Beer.
I get held up every morning, waiting for my roll-on antiperspirant to dry. Look, roll-ons go on wet. Later, they still stick to your shirt. So I got on the stick, Menon Speed Stick. Speed Stick is solid deodorant, an even effective layer of deodorant protection that goes on dry. So dry that Speed Stick never sticks to your shirt. So don't get held up. Get on the stick, Menon Speed Stick.
Promotional consideration and a fee paid by Theragran high-potency vitamins supplied to the U.S. Olympic Committee and the vitamins most recommended by physicians and pharmacists. Theragran and Theragran M with minerals.
Remember the upcoming Challenge Cup Series at Madison Square Garden in New York. The Soviet team against the NHL All-Stars, and you'll hear it here on NHL 79 and see it as well next Thursday and next Sunday night at 8 o'clock on most of these same stations from Madison Square Garden in New York. Thursday and Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Here we go with the third period. Penguins lead 3-1 as the puck is cleared immediately into the Detroit zone. Greg Malone for Pittsburgh in after it. Dropped it back, but right onto the stick of Dan Bolduc. And back comes Detroit. Drop pass to Libet. Shoots, and he fired just wide on the short side. Bergman holding it in. Carlisle cleared it. And now here's Shutt to center ice. Rod Shutt's shot goes off Harper wide of the net, and he cleared it around on the boards to Libet. Puck bounces back behind the goal. Malone centering it, but right onto the stick of Libet. Number 14, Nick Libet. In across the line, trying to make a play. Libet shoots one off Carlisle and wide of the net. Now Woods for Detroit. Kehoe checking him. It comes to Libet. Back to the point. Bergman shooting. Blocked by Millen, and here's Shutt for Pittsburgh, number 23. Rod Shutt's long shot. And that takes off on him and goes up over the glass. And that young man can really fire a puck. Well, in the second period, the Red Wings got themselves back into the game. Nedomansky scoring at 4:32 to narrow the gap to 2-1. But then Lee, a breakaway unassisted goal at 11:56. Pittsburgh out shooting the Red Wings 7-6 in that opening period. After a much wider open style of hockey in the first period. Puck comes to center ice. Shot back in by the Penguins. Huber for Detroit is there to Nedomansky. He got it outside the line. Kindrachuk shot it into the Detroit zone, and the Red Wings Glockner to McCord at center. Tipped away from him by Tom Blayton, and Glockner back to get it for Detroit. Around on the boards for Huber. Huber to number 11, Laurie Glockner. Glockner being forechecked by Kindrachuk. Now Thompson for the Red Wings. Tied up by Kehoe. Got it to the line, held in by Blayden. Here are the Penguins. Lonsbury centered, and Huber for Detroit takes over. Feeds to center ice, broken up there by Blayden, and Lonsbury has it again for Pittsburgh. Fires it around on the boards. Bashaw back of the net, leaving it there for Huber. Huber to Nedomansky. Number 20, Nedomansky. Comes out of his own zone. Here's Nedomansky to center, into the Pittsburgh zone, leaving it there for Salarar, for McCord. A shot right on, and saved by Millen, and the puck comes to center ice. McCourt with an excellent chance. Now Glockner for Detroit to McCourt. Pass went off his stick, cleared in by Reed Larson, and Carlisle, number 25, has it for Pittsburgh. Carlisle the center, long shot. Bashaw making the save, leaves it there for Jean Hamel. Around on the boards to Larson. Lead pass ahead for Salaroff, going all the way down the ice. Millen out of the net to play it, and leave it there for Dale Talon. Talon to Shepard. Shepard shoots it into the center ice area for Pittsburgh. Larson has it there to Salaroff. Shot it to the Penguin line, and Dale Talon clears it back into the Detroit zone. Jean Hamel, number 5, passing to Salaroff. Then Hamel crashed into Shepard. Salaroff behind the net, lost it to Bayanchin, centering it, and wide open in front of the net was Ferguson. But the pass was off the mark and comes all the way into the Pittsburgh zone. Talon tries a lead pass into the center ice area. Down the ice it goes. And icing is called here against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, the Detroit Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Why did Car and Driver magazine call the Audi 5000 a functional masterpiece, and yet one of the most sumptuous cars ever to come out of Germany? Why did Road and Track magazine say, for the money, we don't see anything that can touch it? Test drive the Audi 5000 at your Porsche Audi dealer and find out why.
With Gary Dornhofer and Scott Wally, this is Dan Kelly at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Penguins leading Detroit 3-1 here early in the third period. Puck fired around on the boards in the Pittsburgh zone. Chapman for Pittsburgh got it to center, and LeBlanc for Detroit dumps it right back in. Millen, the rookie goaltender for the Penguins, around on the boards to Chapman. He couldn't clear it. But now here comes Pittsburgh anyway. Bladen to Mahovlich, offside at the Detroit blue line. A second sooner, and Big Mahovlich would have had a breakaway on right wing.
Well, you know, he was off balance there, and that was a difficult pass to make Mahovlich. And as it turned out, Pittsburgh would have had a 3-on-1. So, you know, if you're not in a good position, why not just slow down and until you get into that good position?
Another game in the NHL this afternoon in the first period at the Checker Dome in St. Louis. St. Louis Blues leading Colorado 2-0. Goals by Harvey Bennett and Jack Brownscheitel. Here, Pittsburgh has a 3-1 lead as Harper starts to move it out on right wing for Nick Libet. Libet got it to the Penguin line, but was knocked down there by Chapman. Now Woods comes back and checks Chapman. Gives it to Bergman. Bergman to Libet. Back to Woods at center. Woods across the line. Gets away from Dave Schultz. Woods into the corner. Taken out of the play. Woods still after the puck, and now Campbell tied him up. Now the Red Wings drop it back. It comes to the point to Bergman. Into the corner for Libet. Libet to Woods. Paul Woods trying to work free to get a shot. Upended on the play, and Mahovlich has it for Pittsburgh. Pete Mahovlich just flips it to center ice, and Bergman has it for the Red Wings, number 4. To Terry Harper. Harper trying to get it in across the line. Does to Bolduc. Here's Bolduc centering pass, and breaking up a 2-on-1 was Bladen. And Colin Campbell has it to Mahovlich. Big Pete Mahovlich, number 20. Tries to move around Harper. Harper poked it away. Mahovlich has it again. Handing into the corner. Now Mahovlich does flip it in front. Chapman shoots. He scores! Blair Chapman set up beautifully by Big Mahovlich.
Well, like we were saying, Dan, when Mahovlich is on and he wants to play, you know, he's one of the better center icemen in the league. And Detroit just couldn't get the puck away from him. He just hung on to it until he finds that clear man. Again, just come up with it again. Just hang on to it. Right to Chapman. No mistake.
Harper had him well tied up on the play, but it was just the long reach and the persistence of Mahovlich.
Absolutely, and had him pinned in there, but Mahovlich, he just hung right in there and sees Chapman and sticks in the left corner. 4-1.
Blair Chapman's 9th goal of the year, and the Penguins have a 4-1 lead. Puck fired into the Detroit zone. Bashaw trying to clear it. Peter Lee knocked it down. Now Huber behind the net is checked, and here's Thompson for the Red Wings. Errol Thompson to Netamansky. Broken up at center ice. Anderson into the Lee. Lee moving in. Shoots it off the stick of Blockner and up over the glass and into the crowd. Well, Peter Lee had only 5 goals a year ago. He has 27, including the one he scored here today. Well, he asked him, how come the big increase in his goal production?
I think it's definitely experience from last year. Last year I used to try to pick corners a lot, and I missed the net, and I wasn't getting shots on the goal. And this year I decided when I came to training camp I'm going to get a lot of shots on net, and we let the puck find the holes themselves, and that's basically what's happened.
Here is a chance for Pittsburgh from the faceoff. Bashaw the save, and McCourt tried to clear it away. Carlisle holding it in. Carlisle's pass intercepted by Thompson. Trying to set up McCourt, and Pittsburgh's Anderson at his own blue line to Carlisle. Over to Lee, across the line to Malone. Flipped it through, but Netamansky has it for Detroit. Nedomansky to Thompson, a 2-on-1 break. Thompson, right in, backhander, and Millen slides across to Rob Thompson. Thompson behind the net, dropping it back to the point. Glockner moving in. His centering pass to Thompson, back to Glockner, and Lee cleared it, but not out. Held in. Here's Nedomansky for Detroit. Shoots one near the Penguin goal, and Millen held onto it long enough the play was stopped, and we'll have a face-off in the Pittsburgh zone, and a big save by Greg Millen only moments ago.
Oh, absolutely. You know, he just stuck his pads out there and took the corner away.
With the score, Pittsburgh 4, Detroit 1. This is NHL 79.
Sunday night at 9 on Upstairs Downstairs. Elizabeth Bellamy volunteers at a church mission. She finds a friend.
What are you doing here, Sarah? Have you no job? Oh, yes. I'm not here for the reasons you think. I was just looking for a friend.
Elizabeth tries to help her.
If you've got any complaints, my girl, you can either get up and leave, or put them to Mr. Hudson when he gets back next week.
But the new servant gets the cold shoulder. Sunday at 9 on Upstairs Downstairs.
21-year-old Greg Millen, the rookie goaltender of the Penguins, takes another save with his right glove. How did I know that was going to happen?
Well, there's a good example of his quickness. You know, on Thompson there, it looked like Thompson had a lot of room to put that puck up there. And then and this save right now from the point from Larson. He just sticks that glove in. Hello.
Back to the live action as the Penguins dump it down the ice. Hamel for Detroit, back to get it. Beating it out on right wing for Polonich. Polonich to Salarov, who gets it into the Pittsburgh zone. Millen out of the net to clear it away. And Lonsbury tips it ahead to Keogh. Back to Lonsbury. Speeds into the Detroit zone, but Hamel was there to break it up. Now Salarov, number 16, into Larson. Shoots one. Millen making a save. And Callan for Pittsburgh works his way out of his own zone to Lonsbury. Lonsbury dropping it back for Bladen, in across the line. The shot wide of the target by Kindrachuk. Here's Kindrachuk behind the net, stealing it, couldn't center it, and Detroit taking over and feeding it into the center ice area for Salarov. Andre Salarov shot. Millen's skate clears that to the corner. Back coming Pittsburgh with Lonsbury on the right side to Kehoe. Kehoe to the corner. Shoots from a bad angle. Vashaw makes the save, but the play had been called in an offside as Bayanchin and Terry Harper got nose to nose in front of that Detroit goal.
We just see the back of Dale Talon. You know, he's played both the forward position and defense, and made a lot of good plays this afternoon. Head manning that puck, which is so very important. You have that open man, get it up to him, let him go with it. Defenseman, just stay back.
Originally drafted by Vancouver, then to Chicago, and then just prior to this season coming to Pittsburgh.
Been around, eh, Dan?
Here's Shepard, number 19. Gets it to center ice. Libet fires one back into the Pittsburgh zone. Penguins try and feed it out of there. Comes to center, and Harper for Detroit takes over. Terry Harper lost it to Shepard. Here's Shepard in for Carlisle, and over on left wing, Wayne Bayanchin was just in ahead of the play, causing an offside at the Detroit blue line. Greg Shepard, the former Bruin, and Greg Millen. We remind you again, there are still some tickets available for the Challenge Cup Series in New York next week. The address is Madison Square Garden, 4 Penn Plaza, New York, New York, 100-01. Harper for the Red Wings. Got it to center. Colin Campbell dumping it back in. Vashaw behind the net to Libet. Libet over on the left wing boards for Woods. Woods clearing it to center ice. And Carlisle drops it back into his own zone. Colin Campbell for Pittsburgh. Here's Campbell. In across for Bayanchin. Broken up by Woods. And Carlisle couldn't hold it in, and Shepard has it at center for Pittsburgh. Campbell flips one into the Detroit zone. Vashaw is there to feed it out on left wing for Bergman. He lost it to Shepard. Shepard shot stopped by Harper, who couldn't clear it, but Bergman has it for Detroit. Up the middle for Woods on left wing for Libet. Back to Harper. Harper's shot wide and well wide of the Pittsburgh goal. Back come the Penguins again. Ferguson, number 11, scoops a high one into the Detroit zone. Huber is there around on the boards for Glockner. Now to Dale McCourt. Here's McCourt, number 10. Backhanding one into the Pittsburgh end of the rink. And Talon has it for the Penguins. Out on left wing for the Hammer, Dave Schultz. He's checked by Nedomansky. 11 minutes left in the game. Pittsburgh holding a 4-1 lead. Chapman drops it back for Talon in the Pittsburgh end of the rink, and Talon circles. Now starts to carry up. Flips it to center ice to Mahovlich. Here's Pete Mahovlich dropping it to Schultz. Schultz moving in, shoots one, and Bashaw kicked it out. Huber behind the net has it for Detroit. Schultz runs into the Detroit rookie. Now Thompson along the boards. Fired it over onto the other wing, and Nedomansky has it. Number 20, Nedomansky, the only Detroit goal scorer here today. Rounding the boards to Glockner, and the Red Wings clear it to center. McCourt tried to work around Talon, and Talon knocked it off his stick, and Bladen has it for Pittsburgh. Bladen on left wing to Schultz off his skate, and down into the Detroit zone. Bashaw leaving it there, now cleared it for Huber. Willie Huber, the Red Wing rookie, to Thompson, to Nedomansky. Number 12, Vaslav Nedomansky. Fires it over. It comes to Huber. A drive. Blocked at the defense by Anderson. And the Penguins clear it into the Pittsburgh zone. Number 11, Laurie Glockner. Back to pick it up. Glockner touches the puck, and then play is called at an icing call. And also a penalty called on the play. This is NHL 79 live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
You can feel the heat before you even get close. But the only way to kill the flames is to fight them face to face until they finally die, and you lead your men to cooler air and Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, we got the beer, Miller beer.
This is NHL 79 live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Dan Kelly, Gary Dornhofer, and Scott Wally as we have 9:47 left in the hockey game. And Pittsburgh with a 4-1 lead in Detroit. And the Red Wings, Dale McCourt has just been penalized. So Pittsburgh on a power play here. Here's Rod Schutt back to the point to Carlisle to Schutt again. Dropping it back to Talon, and it comes to center ice. Dale Talon over to Carlisle. Carlisle flipping it through for Malone. Intercepted and cleared away by Bergman. And the Penguins have to go back. Pittsburgh on the power play. With a power play goal earlier today, 37 on the season. The same number of goals they've given up when they're shorthanded, 37. Here's Lee stealing the puck. Lee shoots one, and he blasted a shot wide as he went for the short side. Now Schutt holding it in to Carlisle. Carlisle to Dale Talon moving in. Back for Carlisle again. Into the corner for Schutt to Carlisle. A shot, and that's blocked. Here's Dale Talon into the slot area. Back to Talon again. Talon to a bad angle to Schutt, a drive, and that hit Harper and bounced wide. Here's Schutt again for Pittsburgh. Stick handling in, shoots, and he blasted it high and wide. Dale Talon at the point for Lee. Lee shooting, and he just missed. And Carlisle is unable to hold it in at the right point. 45 seconds left in the penalty to McCourt. Long shot. Bashaw handling it. The Red Wings' Bergman is there to clear it down the ice. Millen out of the net, passing it on right wing for Bladen. Bladen into Kindrachuk. Reed Larson fanned on it. Kindrachuk kept on coming, but Harper was there for Detroit. Red Wings can't get it out. It's centered. Harper cuts behind the net. He couldn't get it, and now Reed Larson does feed it to center ice for J.P. LeBlanc. LeBlanc against the boards against Kindrachuk. Kehoe upending LeBlanc, who falls right on top of the puck.
Now, the Penguins certainly put a lot of good pressure on there, but really didn't get that good shot on net. I think we have an out-of-town score there.
2-0, St. Louis in the first period over Colorado. Harvey Bennett and Jack Brownscheitel scoring the goals for St. Louis. That's an afternoon game, as well as this one here. And we'll tell you about the night activity in the NHL. First opportunity we get. Puck is cleared into the Detroit zone. Bashaw feeding it away. Kindrachuk in there forechecking. Now LeBlanc behind his own net. McCourt is back on. Red Wings have killed it off. Here's Libet to McCourt at center. Dale McCourt trying to work around Campbell. Feeds it to Libet. Libet moving in. Shoots, and he shot just wide. Now LeBlanc to McCourt, a shot. Millen the save. And he held on to it for a face-off. A low shot that Millen was able to get a stick on and make the save. Live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, the Detroit Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Monday at 9. Bum burners, a rapist, and a mad killer stalk the streets of Boston and Fuzz. It calls for action. Burt Reynolds is the man for the
I figured
job.
the deaf man knew that there was nothing in the lunch pail all along, Chief. And he figured that we'd nail whoever picked it up.
Raquel Welch helps.
Frankly, I was hoping it'd send me somebody a little bigger than you, but,
5'8".
No, I mean, you know.
And Yul Brenner hurts.
Anyway, they still don't know who we are. And they never will.
Burt and Raquel go undercover in Fuzz. Monday at 9 on the Star movie.
Horace Kindrachuk, the captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins, on a face-off in the Pittsburgh zone, wins the draw from LeBlanc. Campbell for the Penguins behind his own goal. Campbell feeding it on the left wing boards, too far ahead for Lonsbury. Now Bolduc for Detroit gives it to Huber. Huber ahead to Libet. His pass intercepted by Lonsbury. And Ross Lonsbury, number 18, comes to center, got it into the Detroit zone. LeBlanc shot it right back out. Kindrachuk cleared it. Red Wings LeBlanc feeding it in for Bolduc on right wing. Drops it to Huber, shoots, and Millen gets a stick on. Libet firing it around on the boards. LeBlanc in the corner. Back to Huber at the point, unable to hold it in. And it comes to center ice. Now Glockner for Detroit. Handed it right to Wayne Bayanchin, number 14 for Pittsburgh. Long shot into the Detroit zone. Huber clearing it out on left wing for the Detroit captain, Libet. Libet gets it to center. Nedomansky had it momentarily. He's checked, and here is Kehoe. He lost it. Back comes Huber for Detroit. Willie Huber moving in on right wing. Huber drops it back. Here's Nedomansky. Pass to the point to Glockner. Shoots one, and it's well wide of the Pittsburgh goal. Penguins by Bayanchin. Fires it to center ice. Errol Thompson has it for Detroit. Thompson runs right into Carlisle. Puck comes into the Penguin zone, and Shepard is back for Pittsburgh. Number 19, Greg Shepard for Russ Anderson. Anderson for Shepard. It comes to center. Nobody picked it up. Shepard races after it, and in ahead of the play and offside is number 11, George Ferguson.
You know, the Penguins are certainly in a great position right now. They've got the 4-1 lead. They just have to check, make sure they don't give Detroit any 3-on-1 or 2-on-1 breaks. Detroit, on the other hand, you know, they've got to get some pressure in there and take all kinds of chances. That's the only way they're going to get back in this game.
5:51 to play. Pittsburgh leading 4-1. Each team to this point in the game has had 27 shots on goal. Here's Hamel for Detroit. At center ice to Nedomansky to Dale McCourt. Broken up by Carlisle at the Pittsburgh blue line. He flipped it to center. Larson for the Red Wings to Hamel on left wing for Thompson. Thompson backhanding one into the Pittsburgh zone. Now Ferguson, number 11. The ex-Toronto player clears it outside the line. Schultz knocked it loose along the boards, and Nedomansky has it for Detroit for Thompson, flipping it into the Pittsburgh zone, and Anderson takes over for the Penguins. Hamel shot it in along the boards. Now Ferguson for the Penguins to center ice. Flips one down into the Detroit zone. Thompson back for the Red Wings. 5 minutes to play. Pittsburgh with a 4-1 lead. Schultz tied up Errol Thompson. Now Talon for Pittsburgh. Over to Bladen, who fires one into the Detroit zone. Now breaking away is McCourt on right wing. In across the line, and his shot went off. Bladen, who got back in a hurry to block the shot. Number 2, Tom Bladen. Just dumps it in from center ice, and the Red Wings have to go back. Hamel has control of the puck, knocked off his stick. Cleared and off of another stick, picked up by Larson to Polonich at center ice. Here's Polonich into the Pittsburgh zone for Saint-Laurent, intercepted and cleared outside the line by Blair Chapman. Red Wings work it back to their own line for Bergman. To Dennis Polonich, number 8. Polonich across the line, centering pass broken up by Bladen. He cleared it, and They get it back to Schultz. Schultz lead pass to Mahovlich was tipped away, and Harper then fires it to center. Less than 4 minutes to play. Pittsburgh leading 4-1 over Detroit. Here's Rod Shutt to the corner, knocked down by Harper, and Shutt sits on top of the puck, and will have a face-off in the Detroit zone. With the score, Pittsburgh 4, Detroit 1. This is NHL 79.
Uh-oh, that TV show we want to watch goes on in 5 minutes.
America, stop rushing your life away just to catch a TV show. Get a Sony Betamax video recorder and automatically videotape that show while you're doing something else and watch it anytime you want. Sony Betamax. It could change your whole way of life.
Next Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time and next Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, the Soviet Union and the NHL All-Stars in the Challenge Cup Series on most of these stations. Should be a great highlight of the hockey season in New York next week. Here's Harper trying to clear it on the boards. Red Wings Polonich, number 8, speeds out of his own zone to center. Shoots one around on the boards. Digging in is Salaroff. Centered a shot. They score! Carroll set up by Polonich. And the Red Wings, with 3:31 to play, cut the Pittsburgh lead to 4-2.
Well, that was another great play. 2 individual efforts there. First, Polonich getting the puck to Carroll, and he just snapping it by him right into the corner. I'm going to see this again. As the puck goes into the corner, Harper picks it up. And then it'll break out down to the other end. Now, once it's dumped in now, watch the work that Polonich does here. You see Carroll right in the slot there. Again, the secret on that, Dan, as soon as it gets on his stick, he releases it. Not actually looking for a corner, just getting a shot on net.
Doesn't give the goaltender a chance to get set at all. Greg Carroll scoring the goal, which was his 7th of the year for the former Washington Capital player. This is NHL 79, live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
Wednesday at 9, Gregory Peck is Captain Ahab in Herman Melville's classic tale of the sea, Moby Dick.
God hunt us all. If we do not hunt Moby Dick to his death.
If Ahab has his way, thee, nor me, nor any member of the ship's company will ever see home again.
Moby Dick, also with Orson Welles and Richard Basehart. Wednesday at 9 on the Star Movie.
Last Detroit goal, picked up just several weeks ago by the Red Wings on waivers from Washington. Puck cleared in by Detroit into the Pittsburgh zone, and back to touch it is Carlisle, and we have an icing call here against Detroit. I mentioned the other games around the NHL this evening. Buffalo will be at Minnesota, Vancouver at Washington, the Montreal Canadiens at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Chicago play the Flames in Atlanta. Boston against the Islanders at the Nassau Coliseum. And on the West Coast, the New York Rangers take on the Los Angeles Kings. That game, Buffalo and Minnesota, a very important one. Buffalo just 2 points ahead of Minnesota in the Adams division. Quick shot from the faceoff, and Bashaw makes the save. Here's Salaroff flipping it around on the boards into the Pittsburgh zone. Hustling back and clearing it was Campbell. Red Wings, Carroll coming up with the puck, centering it to Salaroff, but Peter Lee knocked it off his stick to center. Harper trying to dump it back into Polonich. Now hustling back and in possession is Malone for Pittsburgh. To Carlisle. And Randy Carlisle flips the puck high in the air and down the ice. And we're going to have an icing call against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, you certainly want to give Detroit any more life here by getting that puck back in your own zone. We've seen too many times what happens from a face-off, and yeah, you might even think that Detroit would pull Vachon at a time like this.
We have 2:34 to play. They trail by 2 goals. Red Wings, who had gone 22 games in a row without a victory on the road, coming into this one today. Face-off coming up to the right of the Pittsburgh goal. Pittsburgh, by the way, with a victory, can take over 2nd place in the Norris Division ahead of Los Angeles. and at the same time pull 16 points ahead of these Red Wings, whether it be a wild card situation or a second or third place situation. Into the corner behind the net, Bladen. Puck coming loose and cleared away by Shepard into the center ice zone. Red Wings, Bolduc fires it off the boards behind the Pittsburgh goal. Standing on it is Bladen. Now Bladen gets away from Libet. Out on right wing to Kehoe. Kehoe gets it to Kindrachuk. And Kindrachuk got it outside the line. Wood shot it back in, and it's offside at the Pittsburgh blue line.
There's Reed Larson, who possesses one of the hardest shots in the league. You know, Dan, you see near the end of a game what a lot of teams are doing. They're sending two centermen out there, especially when the face-off is in their own zone. If one gets thrown out of the face-off, they still have another one to take that draw.
Good point, Gary. Here is Anderson clearing the puck into the Detroit zone. Bashaw is there. Larson trying to clear it, knocked down the Penguin center. A shot, and high and wide off the glass. And now they jam it up against the boards. And Oris Kindrachuk will not have a better chance to score.
I think he'd like to have that one back again. Now, he was going up in the top right-hand corner. Put it way up top of the glass. You know, they got the right guys out there. You know, they got Lonsberry, who's one of the best checkers in the league. You're going to watch this puck come out to Kindrachuk. There it is, just high. But again, he was in great position there.
Kindrachuk, Lonsberry, and Kehoe, the forward line for Pittsburgh. Here is Anderson's shot from the point. That's blocked. And now back comes Libet for the Red Wings. Libet is upended by Kindrachuk, who's going to get a penalty here for hooking. And it comes with 1:37 to play. And Red Wings, trailing by 2, get an opportunity here as Kindrachuk goes off.
Could be very interesting right now, Dan. We're going to see that penalty again on Kindrachuk. Libet has the puck, and Kindrachuk will give him the hook there. Wick's looking right at the play. Calls it, so, you know, the Red Wings aren't dead yet. They're 1:37 away from it, but you never know.
Well, the penalty will give Detroit an opportunity. The Red Wings have scored more power play goals than anyone in the NHL this year. They have had more power play opportunities. Their percentage is not that high, but their overall production is tops in the league. 53 coming into this game. Now, Carlisle tried to work around McCourt. McCourt flipping it to center. Picked up by Bolduc, who tried to get it to Paul Woods. Libet for Detroit. Trying to work it in across the line. Broken up, and Shepard comes back for Pittsburgh. Dropped it back for Carlisle. Now to Dale Callan. Callan for Pittsburgh, who are shorthanded. Into Ferguson. George Ferguson to the corner. Ferguson tied up, but flipped it in behind the Red Wing goal. And Woods has it for Detroit. Detroit on the power play. Here's Libet. Fires it around on the boards. Less than a minute to play in the game. Millen came out of the net, but the play was offside at the Pittsburgh blue line, and we're down to 58 seconds left, and Bashaw is on the bench. And the Red Wings are going to go with 6 attackers, trailing 4-2.
Well, might as well now, Dan. This is the last-ditch effort to try and tie this game up. They've got to get that puck in there and get a goal in a hurry. You know, Millen certainly has come up with some outstanding saves today, you know, this afternoon, rather, and, you know, when the Pittsburgh was in trouble there, he made the key save.
You impressed with the young rookie Pittsburgh goaltender, Gary?
Well, he's quick, I'll tell you. That's the first time I've seen him play, and he's awfully good.
Here's Salarov for Detroit. Flips one in. Millen makes the save. Back behind the net is Callan. Trying to clear it out of there. Held in by Bergman. The Red Wings with 6 attackers on and having a power play chance as well. So they are 6 against 4 in the Pittsburgh zone. Bergman at the point, shooting, and he blasted one wide. Now Larson a shot, and Millen sticks out the right pad and gets the stick on it. Makes the save, and it deflects up over the glass. Rogie Bashaw, the masked man on the Detroit bench, in favor of a 6th attacker.
Well, you know, Bergman, he waited there on the left point, waiting for somebody to get in front of the net, and none of the other Detroit forwards would try and plant themselves in front, so what's the sense of shooting? And then eventually did pass it over to Larson, and the puck went out in the stands. But they've got to get that man in front.
That is something that you know of which you speak very well. Here's Nedomansky, a shot blocked. Dale Callan for Pittsburgh fires it down the ice, misses the open net. Bergman back to get it. Here's Larson clearing it into the center ice area. Carlisle flipping it back in. Now Willie Huber is there, and here's Huber for Detroit. Huber into the Pittsburgh zone, centering it. Shot by McCord, and he blasted it wide. 5 seconds left. Bergman for Detroit, centering. Shepard knocked it down. The game is over. And the Pittsburgh Penguins defeat the Detroit Red Wings 4-2. For Pittsburgh, their 21st victory of the year against 22 losses. And that moves them into second place in the Norris Division of the NHL, a point ahead of the Los Angeles Kings.
Absolutely. A hard-fought victory today. You know, when anytime you get the conditions that were out there this afternoon, Dan, that slow ice, it was tough on both teams. But this afternoon, the Penguins prevailed, moved up in second spot. The troublesome problems that follow the Red Wings are still with them. So they have a rematch tomorrow.
Back in Detroit tomorrow, but the first game of the home-and-home series goes to Pittsburgh by a 4-2 score. And so the final score, the Pittsburgh Penguins 4, the Detroit Red Wings 2. NHL 79 continues in just a moment.
World War II. Nobody covered the war like Time and Life magazines. Nobody can recreate World War II like the editors of Time Life books. Follow the Panzer columns in Blitzkrieg. Take to the skies in the Battle of Britain. Encounter the U-boat wolf packs in the Battle of the Atlantic.
Follow the rise of fascism in Prelude to War for 10 days free without obligation to buy. If you aren't impressed, return our book within 10 days and you pay nothing. If you keep Prelude to War, pay just $7.95 plus shipping and handling. Then approximately every other month, we'll send you another volume in our series, each one on the same 10-day free examination basis. Keep only the volumes you want and cancel your subscription at any time. Here's how to get your copy.
Phone toll-free, 1-800-648-5314. Operators are now standing by. Or write World War II, Box 29,000, Cleveland, Ohio, 44129. That's World War II, Box 29,000, Cleveland, Ohio.
Sundays at 6. Get a first-hand look at the West, the real West, the wild, wild West. Robert Conrad is Special Agent James West. Ross Martin is his partner in justice, Artemis Gordon. Together, they set out to tame the West, the wild, wild West. And they do it. Don't miss the Wild, Wild West. Sunday evenings at 6, here on UA43, the station that plays favorites.
Back at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Penguins have just defeated the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 4-2. The Wings, as Dan Kelly said a couple of moments ago, have now gone 23 games, road games, without a win. And overall, Pittsburgh wins only its second in its last 7. But here at the Civic Arena, the Pens have been very, very good, winning 5 of their last 7. And with me is Peter Mahovlich, who got one of those Penguins goals this afternoon. Playing pretty well at home, Pete.
Well, actually, after our slow start, you know, when we were 1-8-2, we've been playing pretty well, both at home and on the road, and everybody's working together, and we're getting an effort from everybody.
In December, you had a terrific month, winning 9, losing only 2, tying about 4, I think. And in January, though, you slipped back below 500, going about 5-7-1, I believe. Why the up and down with the Penguins this year?
Well, I think with a lot of new faces, a lot of new personalities, I am quite sure that you know, as the year goes on, certain things aren't going to go right for certain fellas, and it's tough to coordinate a game plan when you really don't know your players as well as you'd like to. And as the year goes on, I'm quite sure that our hockey club will improve even more so than we have in the last 2 months.
Okay, Pete, let's take a look at your goal now. Ross Lonsberry scored first, and you came up at 10:55 of the first period from Lee and Carlisle.
Yeah, we had the pressure on it pretty good, and one of their players had broke their stick, so actually we're playing, we had a power play on, and you know, it takes another man out of the play, and we moved it around quite well, and Peter Lee just slid it over to me, and I just let it go right away along the ice, and Rogie couldn't get over in time.
How about the Pittsburgh power play this year? That was a power play goal.
Well, actually, we haven't done too badly. We haven't gotten too many goals, but basically, our percentage-wise, you know, it's getting a little bit better. We're working on a few more different things, and things have been going pretty well of late.
Okay, Peter Mahovlich of the game-winning Pittsburgh Penguins. He scored once as the Penguins defeat the Detroit Red Wings 4-2. We'll return with our final wrap-up in just a moment.
For the next 60 seconds, nothing will appear on your television screen but what you now see. Nothing. Because what you now see is important to you. While you look at it, ask yourself these questions. Do you want to get ahead in business? Would you like to move up in your company? Do you want to be worth more to your company? Would it help your career if you knew more about current business management thinking? If your honest answer to any of those questions is yes, the Wall Street Journal can help you. The Journal is a national business daily that delivers into the hands of its readers every business day the business information they need to get ahead in business, to move up, to make themselves worth more. Look how little it costs to get the Journal delivered every business day. Think how little it could take to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Look, think, then write us.
Call toll-free 1-800-648-5314 or write to the Wall Street Journal, P.O. Box 29,000, Cleveland, Ohio 44129. You'll be billed later on.
Hi, this is John Lanigan, inviting you to join me this Sunday night at 11 o'clock for another exciting edition of Lanigan at Large. We're going to talk about a new you and how you can become a new you. Dr. James Stalling will be with us. He is a plastic surgeon, and he has a book out called A New You. And he'll give us some ideas on what it costs to have plastic surgery. He'll show you what you can do. You can change your nose, your face, your everything. There's nothing you can't change in A New You. Join us Sunday night at 11 on Lanigan at Large.
Gary Dornhofer, the Pittsburgh Penguins win a big game against a division rival Detroit. What was the key to the win?
Well, you know, Nadamansky scored in that first period to cut the lead to 2-1, and then he gave that rink-wide pass away to Peter Lee and made the score 3-1, and I think the complexion of the game changed at that time, Dan. And again, the Red Wings are having problems in their own zone with those giveaways, and just like in basketball, they you know, those turnovers, they kill you, and sooner or later the puck's going to be in your net, and that's what happened tonight.
How did the Penguins impress you?
Well, I thought they took the man rather well, and their defense really stayed up in the first couple of periods there. You know, stand up in the blue line, make the Detroit Red Wings shoot that puck into their zone, and they checked well. Every player on the Penguins seemed to get involved. You know, none of this stick checking where it gives the other player a chance to get by you, but make body contact, and that's what this game's all about.
Gary Dornhofer, nice to have you along again as our guest commentator on NHL 79. As usual, an A+ for your work.
Thank you, Dan, and I noticed that you've grown a couple inches. I used to be taller than you, but I always enjoy being here with you. Thank you.
You have to eat the proper food and get to bed early. Let's go downstairs to our intermission studio in Scott Wally.
Okay, thank you, Dan Kelly and Gary Dornhofer. We almost didn't have an interview as Greg Millen, the winning goaltender today. I think he almost cut the cord here with his skate. Greg, congratulations today. An excellent game for you, and you seem to be able to dominate Detroit very well. 3 wins and no losses against this club this year.
Well, I don't know if it's domination as much as it is maybe just the fact that the guys played 3 good games when I've been in the net, and we were fortunate enough to win today, and I'm very, very happy about it.
Now, of course, with Herron out with an injury, you've had a chance to play a little bit more lately.
Yeah, Denny hurt his wrist there, or actually his thumb, I guess it was, and he'll be back after the break, so it's just a matter of the 3 games. It was to Montreal, and then we have back-to-back Detroit today, of course, and then again tomorrow night.
Now, Greg, do you pat on yourself after any particular goaltender? You're a rookie coming up. You look like you're not afraid to handle the puck. You kind of remind me of a Jerry Cheevers.
Well, that's I really enjoy watching Jerry Cheevers play. In fact, last year there in the playoffs, I was really had an eye on him because I'm so impressed with the way he handles the puck, and I try to handle it as much as possible. I think that with the modern-day goaltending, you have to, because they get on top of you so very fast, and so I try to handle it as much as I can, and hopefully I'll get better as I get a little older at it.
Now, how about this Pittsburgh Penguins team? You're coming onto a club with plenty of veterans. I think you're just about the youngster in the group, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess I'm the baby of the team, but I think that the guys have helped me tremendously. Denny Herron's helped me, you know, he gave me confidence, and of course all the veterans, the Lonsburys, Kinderchucks, Mahovliches, you know, the guys that have been on Stanley Cups, and some of the older, you know, the other guys that are old have helped me tremendously also.
Okay, Greg Millen, the winning goaltender today for the Pittsburgh Penguins, as the Penguins defeat the Detroit Red Wings 4-2. It was the Penguins' 4th win in 5 games against Detroit. And, of course, these 2 teams travel to Detroit. 'Detroit, later on today for a rematch at Olympic Stadium tomorrow. Now, how about this Pittsburgh Penguins team? You're coming into onto a club with plenty of veterans. I think you're just about the youngster in the group, aren't you? Yeah, I guess I'm the baby of the team, but I think that the guys have helped me tremendously. Of course, coming up on NHL 79, the Challenge Cup Series between the NHL All-Stars and the Soviet Nationals. You'll see it on Thursday, February 8th, and Sunday, February 11th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on most of these stations. It comes to you from Madison Square Garden in New York City. The score this afternoon, once again, Pittsburgh defeats Detroit 4-2. So long from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
What does the Leafs' Mike Palmateer do before every game that makes people think he's a little bit crazy? How did the Islanders' Mike Bossy know he'd score 50 goals in his rookie season? Why did the Atlanta Flames start this season as the hottest team in the National Hockey League? Who does Bruins coach Don Cherry love more than any person in the world? Who are the game officials who have been insulted, threatened, even attacked without ever setting foot on the ice? Who are the Sabres known as Bachelors 3, and how do they relax away from the arena? Read it in Goal, the official magazine of the National Hockey League, now available on your newsstand. Goal magazine. Now you can take all the action home with you.
This is WUAB-TV, Channel 43, serving Lorraine.